Budget Blinds. Visit their showroom or call today for a free in-home consultation.
This is Newcap News with Bart Padiasic.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Lloydminster RCMP responded to 2 911 calls this weekend. On Saturday at 5:40 in the morning, a white male described as 5'5" with a skinny build, wearing black clothing and facial covering, entered the Husky gas station on 50th Avenue wielding a knife. He demanded money and then fled on foot. And then on Sunday night at 9:29, a suspect described as 5'8", slim, wearing black pants, a gray hoodie, a dark toque and facial hair, entered the Tropical Inn liquor store on 44th Street, pointing a firearm at the employee. He demanded money and fled from the area with an undisclosed amount of cash. RCMP say it's unclear whether the incidents are related, and anyone with information about the armed robberies is asked to contact Lloydminster RCMP at 780-808-8400 or Crime Stoppers. To Onion Lake now, where a 24-year-old woman is recovering after being shot in the head at a residence on the First Nation on December 6th. She was rushed to Lloydminster Hospital and then airlifted to Saskatoon and has since been released. Now, Onion Lake RCMP are looking for these 3 male suspects wanted on charges of attempted murder and aggravated assault. Police are actively searching for 27-year-old Terrence Stonechild, 24-year-old Jesse Dillon, and 21-year-old Damian Dillon. If you have any information on their whereabouts, you're asked to call Onion Lake RCMP at 306-344-5550 or Crime Stoppers. Lloydminster RCMP have released the latest list of most wanted suspects for the area. 41-year-old Sean Bertrand is wanted in connection with a break and enter. He's 5'9" with brown hair and green eyes and weighs about 200 pounds. Cody Dillon is wanted for break and enter, robbery, and failing to appear in court. The 20-year-old is 5'10", 166 pounds with brown hair and eyes, and 38-year-old Adrian Pathaken is 5'11" and just over 200 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. He's charged with driving while disqualified and failing to appear in court. Anyone with information is asked to call Lloydminster RCMP or Crime Stoppers. A Vermilion woman and a new grandmother is speaking out about what she says was an unacceptable and unavoidable experience her daughter had at the Lloydminster Hospital. She says the ordeal left her daughter scarred both emotionally and physically. Hannah Tita has more.
I'm not pleased with Lloyd. They darn near took my daughter's life.
Dawn Knudsen is still searching for answers after complications from labor left her daughter hospitalized in Edmonton. Knudsen says 23-year-old Chantel had a healthy pregnancy.
From this picture to what she looks like now is totally different.
Chantel went into labor on November 28th at the Lloydminster Hospital, but after some difficulties, the doctors determined she needed a C-section. Knudsen says her daughter progressively got sicker after Wyatt's birth, but the family was told Chantel only had gas buildup and nature would take its course. Knudsen says after requesting a transfer to Edmonton and being denied, Chantel was finally airlifted to the Misericordia Hospital on January 4th, where doctors there determined that she was severely infected.
They got her into the OR right away. It was a 3-hour procedure. They had to open her up and take out her organs and whatnot to clean them. Thankfully, they were able to save the bowel, the intestine, and the kidney. However, they couldn't save the uterus. They ended up having to do a hysterectomy on her.
Knudsen says Chantel is scarred physically, emotionally, and mentally. She believes the ordeal could have been prevented.
The surgeon said as well that if she would have been left there for another 48 hours, within that 48 hours, we would not have Chantel here today.
Chantel is still recovering at the Misericordia, but all the trips back and forth from Edmonton have left the family's funds depleted. Knudsen set up a GoFundMe page to help out Chantel and her boyfriend with the unexpected costs.
It's been 3 weeks. However, within that 3 weeks, a person doesn't notice how much they're going through until, oh my gosh, you know, we're in a bind. We're hoping that the infection, the infections in her stomach or wherever it is in there, will allow at least 2 days for her to be able to spend Christmas.
The family is prepared to spend Christmas in the hospital if circumstances don't allow Chantel to travel back to Vermilion. Hannah Tita, Newcap News.
Chantal's boyfriend is planning to hire a lawyer to handle the situation. We have reached out to Lloydminster Hospital for comment on the issue. They have yet to respond. Well, with a multi-million-dollar expansion already underway at the Pioneer Lodge, the independent living facility will soon have a new exterior appearance. But thanks in part to nearly a $10,000 donation from 100 Men Lloydminster, the inside is getting a facelift as well. Co-founders Rob Anderson and Shane Schneider presented the proceeds from the final 100 Men meeting of the year to residents and staff this morning. Karen Stenger says the money will go towards renovations for 12 atrium rooms, replacing 16-inch high bathtubs with more accessible features.
And we're also putting in higher toilets, lower sinks, redoing the floors at a cost of about $8,000 per room. That's simply not in our budget.
So far, one room has been completed, and they have enough in the bank to finish 2 more. But Stenger says that could be a lengthy process, as space is at a premium.
Obviously, we're at full capacity at the moment, so we have to wait for a room to become available, and then we can do the work on it.
Rooms in the newer wings already have updated features. Stenger says residents are happy to see upgrades.
These rooms were built in 1976, so it's well overdue. It was time to do something.
The next 100 Men meeting is scheduled for March 1st.